Hi, this is Ishfaq Khan, and this will be a complete session on QuickBook Online. We will start from very beginning by creating new company, and all these things we are going to discuss in this session. All right, now let's start with creating new company in QuickBook Online from very beginning. For that, you just go to Google and the search you will write QuickBook Online Intuit, or you can go to Intuit website as well. So once you are gone over here, then you will click over here and then scroll down. Once you will go down, you will be shown with these three options, and features are also shown over here. You can also read them. Then you choose your relevant plan. So at the moment we are gonna choose this QuickBook Online Plus, and I will choose free 30-day trial. Okay, so just fill your relevant data and then you will click on start free trial, and then you can convert that trial into purchase as well. We are going to fill the data. After filling up the data, they might ask you for the verification code. So from the email address, you will just write your verification code. All right. After providing the relevant information and code, you will reach over here, and from here we will begin the creation of our company. Suppose the name of our company is company 123. Okay, choose the type of business do you have. So this is, we assume that this is partnership, and then you will choose the time period, and from here you will choose the industry. So at the moment we are going to choose whole trader, and you will just, after filling up this form, you will click on next. From here you will select, but if you forgot to select anything, send invoices, organize expenses, VAT, essential sales, employee and all, select all, I will recommend. But if you have forgot to select this, no problem, you can do it later on as well. So just click all set. Alright, now the company is created. Suppose if you have made some mistake at the time of filling the relevant information for your company, you can change it by clicking over here. Once you will click over here, you can amend the name of your company and other relevant information regarding your company. If you want to put the logo, you can put the logo over here as well, and then you will click on done. Then all the information will be updated. Alright. Once you have created your company, next step is you have to do some basic preference settings. So let's go and do some preference setting. First I will click on gear button, then click on accounts and setting, then I clicked on advanced, and from here I will change my some basic preference settings. So here you can see that we can like financial years, and then first I'm gonna enable the accounts number. So these are the account number or code that are being shown in the chart of account. So I'm gonna enable it. I'll just click over here and then click on here and then show the account number, and I'll click save. Then go down. If you see over here, there is something called classes. Actually, classes are the classification that we use to track our accounting transactions. This might be your department, this might be your location, this might be your specific classification that you want to see for each accounting transactions in different forms and format. So we'll just enable the both location. And again, just go down and track the location as well. Suppose we want to track our accounting transactions by location. Then if you go down, we want to have project as well, because in this session I want to show you how can we create new projects and how projects work as well. And if you want to change your home currency, you can change it from here, from home currency. So all your reports are shown in your home currency. And if you deal in multiple currency, you can also turn it on from here, but at this moment I'm gonna use only home currency, single currency. So this is UAE dirham. And if you want to change the number formats, you can change it, and date and month. So that's it. Once you are done with this, then you will click on done and it will be saved. Similarly, we have to do some other preference setting as well. So again, I'm gonna click on this gear button, then click on accounts and setting, and then this time I'm gonna click on expenses. Now I will enable the purchase order because we want to use purchase orders as well, so I'll just enable it. Just click save. Similarly, if you want to make some settings regarding sales, you can click on here sales and you can make settings over here, and then you will just click on done. Alright, now let's move towards creating chart of account. For creating chart of account, we have to click on this gear button, then you will click on chart of accounts. Once you will click on chart of account, you will get default chart of account over here, and this chart of account is according to the company that you have choose when you were setting up the company file in the beginning. So we can amend this chart of account according to our own requirement by adding new accounts or by editing the existing accounts. So let's do it with the help of an example. So we want to make a simple chart of account. In revenue, we will create an account as revenue, and under revenue we'll create two more accounts. Then we will have general and admin expenses, and under the general and admin expenses we would have series of expenses. Apart from that, if you remember, in the preference setting initially we have enabled account number or account code for the account in the chart of account. So how we are gonna assign that number? So a simple method would be, you can start all the assets with 1000, liabilities with 2000, expenses with 3000, revenue 4000, and equity 5000. If you have an account called revenue, so you will start with 4000, and then if you have sub account of that revenue account, you can make like this 4020, 4030. We can make it 4010. As far as expenses are concerned, you can start your expenses with 3000 and then you can move on. Alright, so now let's see how we are gonna create a new account in the chart of account. So for that, you have to just click over here, then click on chart of account, then just click here new, so here you are gonna choose cash and cash equivalent because now we are gonna make an account for bank. So I will select the type as bank, and here we will choose the name of our bank, A B C D whatever, and put last four number of your bank accounts. It would be easy for you to refer that. And here comes the number that we are talking about, the account code. This is your account code, so we can assign the account code over here. So as I told you, we will start our assets with 1000, so it is our first account, so we will start with 1000, and for the next account we will make it as 1010. Then after filling all the relevant data, you will click on save and close. Now let's create an account for revenue, and under revenue we will create two type of account, item sales and other income. So in this way we will also learn how to make sub accounts as well. So let's do, we have two options over here. One option is that we just create all together new account and then make sub accounts, or otherwise we can just scroll down. You can see over here we have revenue, so we will edit it. I have just changed the name, and from here you select revenue journal, and here we are gonna give the number, code number. So for revenue we are gonna start with 4000, so I'm gonna give it 4000, and after that click save. Let's create two more accounts under this. So we have already one account as sales, we will just amend it, and the type would be income, sale of product income, and here you can say that items sale, and here we are gonna give the number 4010, and then here is the point, we will make it as sub account of revenue account. So you will just click over here, and from here you will choose revenue. So here we are gonna choose revenue to make it sub account of revenue. Just click save and close. We have one revenue account, and under revenue account we have one account as item sales. Let's create another account as other income. So again, either we can create a new one and make it sub account of revenue, or if we have available over here we can just amend it. So in our case we are just gonna amend and here you will write 4020. Here sub account new, just if you press RE you will get, and then click save and close. So in this way we can create accounts and also make them sub account if we need it. The next thing is we have to create a general and admin expenses, and under the general and admin expenses we will create series of expenses. So in the same way we will just go new, and from here we will choose expenses, and from here you can choose the types. Just write the name of, and we will give the number starting our expenses with 3000, so we will give it a number 3000 and save and close. Now in the same way, just like revenue, we will make sub account of this expenses. So all the expenses which are available you will make it sub account of this general and admin expenses. If you need any additional expense you can create it just by clicking on the new, or if you don't want any expense you will just click over here and make it inactive. In this way it will not appear over here. Now I will make these expenses as sub account of general and admin. This way you can sort out your chart of account, and after doing this all the irrelevant accounts you can just make them inactive. Just click over here and make inactive. Once you will click make inactive, so it will no longer appear in chart of account, and you will have a very precise and customized chart of account according to your own need. Alright, now let's move towards setting up of vendors. We'll click on here expenses and then click on suppliers, and from here we can add vendors. So we have two options, either we can import from Excel or we can add them manually. So at the moment I'm gonna just add it manually, and here you will fill up all the relevant data of the vendors, and after filling up the relevant data just click save. Similarly if you want to create another, just so in this way we can create vendors. Now let's create items in QuickBooks. We are gonna create inventory items and service items, so we will have a concept of creation of items. So for creating items you will just click over here and then you will click on all lists. After clicking the all list you will click on product and services and then click on add product or services, and from here we will click on inventory. Sometimes inventory is not enabled. In that case you have to enable that in the preference setting. So we are gonna add an item. This is our inventory item. So you will write the full name of your item, stock keeping unit number you will write over here. If you have any category regarding you can add that. If you want to assign class you can assign class, and here you will fill the initial quantity in hand. So if at the moment I don't have any, I will purchase. So here you will write the initial date and then you will scroll down. Now if you see over here, this is inventory asset account. What is this? This account is linked with the inventory. So once you will purchase the inventory will go into this account. This is our inventory asset account. So at the time of purchase, inventory will first go into your inventory asset account, and then once you will make sales, this asset account will be decreased accordingly. Okay, and if you want to add some description, you can add it. And particular sale account of that inventory, again the particular sale account of that inventory is linked over here. Okay, if you remember, we have created an account in the revenue section, items sales. So I want to link it with that, so I will link with that. The purchase price of this item is say 500 and we are selling it at 750. We can change these prices at the time of purchase or sell when we are entering the bills or invoices, but at the moment you can write the standard price over here as well, and if you are not changing, then it will be very helpful for you as well. Now if you see over here, we have an account as expense account. So this is the account. What is the relevant account of cost of goods sold when you make sale? To which account the cost is being charged? So this is the relevant account. This is the relevant income account. This is the relevant expense account. So this is cost of goods sold. If you want to add preferred vendor, you can also add it, and after doing so you will just click save and close. Let's add few more items. So I have created these three inventory items over here. Let's create a service item. So for that, again you will go click over here, then you will click on product and services, and once you will click on new, you can see over here we have options over here. Inventory we already used. Now we are going to use the service item. So I'm going to write over consultancy service, and if you scroll down, you can see over here I'm gonna link it with the other income. From here, if you remember, we have created income account, and similarly you can put other relevant data and click save and close. So in this way we can create a service item. Apart from that, if you see over here, we have non-inventory items. So non-inventory items are the items that for which we don't want to track the inventory, we just consumed them. Okay, so these might be tools that are consumed during the installation. So all the inventory items that you just want to charge to cost of goods sold directly, and you can use them as well. And similarly, if you scroll down, you have a bundle option. This is actually the assembly item. Once you purchase different sort of items and then you put together and sell another item, so how you are going to use that? This is used for them. All right, now let's move toward purchases or purchase of items. Actually, we can purchase the items, goods or services without creating any purchase order. We can directly purchase as well, and we can purchase with purchase order as well. So first I'm going to purchase the items without creating any purchase order directly, and later on we will purchase items. First we will create purchase order and then we will purchase the items. So first let's purchase directly. So for purchasing the item directly, you will just go to new and click on bills. Once you will click on bills, and now we are purchasing from our vendors. So from here you will select your supplier or vendor, and you will fill all the relevant data over here, location, terms, mailing address and everything. And then you can see that you have category details over here, and if you are purchasing the inventory items, you will scroll down and you can see over here. Once you will click over here, you will be shown the option. Now I'm gonna purchase item number 1, item number 2 and item number 3, and tax is there. And if you are purchasing it for a specific customer or for a particular project, you can use them as well from here, and you can assign the class from here. So once you have filled this data, you can see that we have total of 245,000 and then we have VAT 12,250 and the gross amount is 257,250. I want to explain it a little bit more so that you have a concept what we are talking about. Actually, if you see over here, this is the total amount that we have to pay to our supplier, right? So this is our liability. So our account payable will be credit with 257,250, right? Now, if you see over here, the amount without VAT, so what will be the cost of your inventory items? That would be 245,000. So your inventory will increase with how much amount? 245,000. Inventory will debit with 245,000. Account payable will be credit with 257,250 because this is the total amount we have to pay him including the VAT, and this VAT amount will be your debit. So VAT input would be debit with 12,250. So what I want to say is that you will not include or you will not think that this amount would be included in the cost of your product or cost of your inventory, because this is just a refund. That amount 12,250 would be deducted from your net liability of the VAT, and then you have to pay the net amount. Suppose your total liability for a particular period is 15,000, this 1250 would be deducted from that and net amount you have to pay. So this VAT input is your contra liability account, or you can say that it is a kind of an asset account. So this is a contra liability account. This will reduce your liability. So this is the concept behind that. So that's why I wanted to explain it a bit further. So just click save and close. Once you have clicked saved and close, now let's see the effects. If you go to the reports and you will click on profit and loss account, there would be no effect on profit and loss account. Why? Because inventory asset has been debited, account payable credited, and VAT input is debited. So it has nothing to do with your profit and loss account. Now let's see its effect on balance sheet. In the balance sheet, you can see that we have inventory asset with 245,000, as I told you, without adding the amount of VAT input in the cost, because VAT input is your contra liability, not your asset in the inventory. And if you scroll down, you can see that this is your total liability that you have to pay to your vendor. So this is the total amount that you have to pay to your vendor, 257,250. This is the VAT control negative amount. This means that your VAT liability is negative with 1250, and once your liability will increase when you will make sales. Suppose it become 15,000, so from 15,000 this 1250 will be deducted and net amount you have to pay. Okay, so this is how it works. Now let's see the physical quantity of the inventory, or the status of the inventory quantity wise and the value wise. So for that, just click on reports, and from here if you search inventory valuation detail, you will just click over here, set up the dates, and you can see over here now, as far as item number 1 is concerned, on 1st of April we don't have any quantity, and then on 6th of April we purchase 100 items, the rate is 500, so 50,000 amount. Okay, and not to mention again, this amount is net of VAT input. Okay, and again if you see over here for in item number 2, similarly we purchase 100, quantity rate is this and this, so we have quantity over here as well, rate is over here as well, and we have the total value of the inventory as well. So in this way you can monitor your inventory from this report. So this was the purchase of inventory without creating any purchase order. Now let's create a purchase order and then purchase the inventory. So for creating purchase order, just click over here new, and then you will click on purchase order. And once again, if your purchase order is not appearing over here, you can enable it from your preference setting, which is over here accounts and setting. Okay, click new. Once you will click new, you will click on purchase order, and after clicking the purchase order, now this time we are going to purchase from vendor 2, item number 1, item number 2, item number 3, and 250 each. X is there. Fill the relevant data. Now if you want to manually add the purchase order number and we are not finding anywhere, if you see over here there isn't any purchase order number, so for that just click over here, and from here you can add the custom numbers. And apart from that, if you want to add more options on your purchase order, you can add over here. Like I want to add the collection, I want to add sale representative who will be dealing with them, and just click on here. Now you can see that here purchase order number is appearing over here, and I will write 1 2 3, and here the sale representative name you can put, or you can custom accordingly. So now you can see that the total purchase amount is 612,500, VAT is this amount, and total amount is this. Now one important thing, when you just created the purchase order, it will not affect your financial statements, because this is just a placement of an order. Now let's purchase the item for which we have created the purchase order. Again you will just click on new, and you will click on bill. Once you will click on bill, from here you will select the supplier. Once you have selected the supplier, at the right side you can see that the purchase order will appear over here. You will just click on add, and then you will scroll down. You can see that the purchase order will automatically pop up. Now if you see over here, we have ordered this much, but actually we are not purchasing. We actually at this time we have purchased only this quantity. Now this quantity will affect our financial statements, because now we are actually purchasing. And how it will affect, this will goes to your, this amount will go to your inventory value, this will go to your VAT input, and this is the total account payable. Just click save and close. Now if you go to the reports, and if you see over your report in the balance sheet, you can see that the amount has increased. In the balance sheet you can see that your inventory asset has increased, your account payable has increased, your negative value of the VAT control account has increased, because this is VAT input. This will be deducted from your VAT liability. And if you want to see inventory valuation detail, in the inventory valuation detail you can see that the quantity has increased. First we had 100, now we have 250. Initially we purchased 100, then 150, total is 250, and similarly each and every item, so total values are adjusted accordingly as well. So this is how we purchase the inventory with purchase order. Now let's move towards payment of the vendors. You will just click on new, then click on pay bills, and from here you will choose how much you want to pay your vendors. So to this vendor I want to pay only 250,000. and to this vendor we will pay only 200,000. So, and just click save and close. Now our vendors are paid and we have this amount available that we have to pay him in future. Now if you want to see the status of your vendors, what you can do is that just go to reports and here you will just type supplier and you can see the supplier summary. Once you will click on supplier summary, you can see that the remaining balance that you have to pay to vendor 1 is this 7,250 and vendor 2. So total amount that this is the total amount that you have to pay. So if you want to see the detail, just click over here and you can see the detail as well. Let's see how we will record the purchase return in QuickBooks Online. For recording the purchase return, you will just click on new and from here you will click on supplier credit. Once you will click on supplier credit, from here you will choose the supplier. Suppose to the supplier 2 we are returning some products, you will just select here items. From here item number 1, item number 2, 10 each we are returning. Let's see. Just save and close. Alright, now let's see the effect of that purchase return. You will just go here, supplier balance. In the supplier balance detail, you can see that as vendor number 2 is concerned, this vendor number we were supposed to pay him 46,750. As we have returned the good worth 18,375. So now we will pay him 28,375 only. This amount has been deducted from his balance. Now let's see its effect on the inventory. So you just go to the reports. Here you will select, click on inventory valuation detail, and from here, because we have returned it on 15th of April, so let's make it till 17th. You can see that for item number 1, initially we purchased 100, then 150, then 10 items are returned, so now we have 240 items. Okay, so the effect of purchase return, the inventory that we have returned to the supplier has affected the physical quantity of our inventory, and also the payables are already adjusted. Now if you want to see the statements of your vendors or vendor reports, so you will just go on the reports, then if you scroll down in the report section, you will see what you owe. So from here you can see your supplier balance detail. You can just make it, you can add in favorites, supplier balance summary, unpaid bills, and any other detail if you want to see. So once you will click over supplier balance summary, you can see the balance. So if you remember, regarding this we have to pay only 28,000 because of one of our return. So in this way you can see the different reports of your suppliers. So once you have made them in favorites, it will appear over here. You can see that. So now if you have to adjust your inventory item due to any reason, so you might have missed some inventory, or due to any other reason you want to adjust your inventory items, so how you are gonna do it in QuickBooks Online. So for that, just click on new, and then you can see over here you have an inventory quantity adjustment. Once you will click over here, then you have to select, this is very important, you have to select the inventory adjustment account. If you have created a specific adjustment account, or if you want to charge your inventory to a specific account, then you can choose from here. So at the moment I am just choosing this inventory shrinkage account, which is the type of which is cost of sales account. Okay, so it will be charged to the cost of sales. So then you have to choose the product or item that you want to charge. Suppose 5 items of item number 1 are missing, so I'm gonna charge to inventory shrinkage account, which is the cost of good sold account. So from here I will write -5 change in quantity, and here you will write the reference, location, class and other relevant information. Then you will just click on save. So it happened on say 16th of April. Then you will click save and close. Now let's see the effects. First of all, let's go to reports and the inventory valuation detail. Seventeenth of April, we can see that in the item number 1 I have reduced 5 items, so these 5 items are reduced from here. So this is correctly recorded. If you see over here, value and other things are also adjusted. So now my quantity in hand is 235, 100 purchase, 150 purchase, 10 returned, 5 adjusted. So 235 is our net quantity in hand. Okay, so now let's see the effect on P&L, because the cost of 5 items has been charged to the cost of goods sold. So if you go to the reports, in the profit and loss account, on 17th or 16th of April, you can see that 2500 has been charged to cost of goods sold. So this is how you do the adjustment of inventory in QuickBooks Online if you come across any such situation. Alright, now we will move towards creating new customers, or if you want to set up some projects in QuickBooks Online, how you are going to do that. So for that, for adding new customer, you will just click on sales. Once you will click over here, you can see that at the bottom there is a line customers. Just click over here. Once you will click over here, you can add customer from here. So in this way, after filling all other relevant information, just click save. So in this way a customer is created. You can see that. Now let's create few more customers. So in this way you can create customers. You can see that I have created one customer as cash customer, the other customer is company 1. Now suppose with this company 1 we have 2 projects running on. So how we are gonna add projects? How we will create projects? So for creating projects, we will just click on projects, and then you will from here click on start project, and here we will write the name of the project. So I will recommend start your project with the project code. If you have many projects, so it would be easy for you to just at the time of entering data, it would be easy for you to type that project easily. So I will start 1 2 4. This is the project code, and then project name is services. So and you have to select the customer from here. This means that the company with which you have the project, just select here company 1, and in the notes you can add the details. Just click save. So in this way a project is added. Let me add one more project so we have a clear concept. When we add a new project, again I'll just click on new. So this time 1122 repair services, and it is with the same project company. Okay, just click save and close. So in this way you can create the projects. Now let's create the estimates or project values. Estimates, you will just click on new, and from here you will click on estimates. And when we are creating estimates, you can create the estimates for any customer, but especially we do it for projects. So from here you will select the project, and from here we are gonna select the type of services that which we are providing. So this is a repair service, so we can add, if we want to add new service. So this is repair, so this is repair and maintenance services. So from here you will select other income, as we know that we have divided our revenue into two portions, portion from selling of the inventory and portion from project incomes, and the project income we are charging in other income. Just save and close. And the total amount for this project is say 150,000. This is out of scope of the text for the sake of simplicity. And from here, if you want to choose the location or classification, you can choose, fill up all the relevant information and click save and close. Now one thing that I want to mention over here is that these estimates are non-posting items. This will not affect your profit and loss account. These are just project values, and use these estimate for different reporting purposes. Okay, just click save. Let's create the estimate for the next project. And from here we can choose consultancy services. Amount is 250,000. Now this is how we create the estimates. And if you want to charge the tax, you can also charge the tax over here, just right here, and make it 5%. Just click save and so now we can see. So this is how we enter the estimates. Now let's move towards recording the sales. So here we will do two type of sales. The first sale would be the sale of our inventory, so that we can understand how the sale of inventory works in QuickBooks Online, and the other would be the invoice for our project work that we have done. So how we will invoice that. So both, first I will start with the sale of inventory. For just that, just go to the sales and click on invoices. Once you will click on invoices, then you will click on create invoice. After clicking on create invoice, and from here you will click the customer, you will select the customer 123 I have selected, and from here you will select the item number 1, your relevant items that we are selling, and then item number 2, here we are selling 150, 120, 120. If you just put the cursor over here in that box, you can see that you can also see how much quantity of that item is in your hand. So then we are going to select the text from here, and after filling other relevant information, you will just click on save. So but before saving, I want to discuss with you an important thing. You can see that we have now total value without VAT or without tax is 406,500. Then VAT is added over here, and then the total value after VAT is 426,825. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that this 426,825 is not your revenue. This 426,825 is not your revenue. Your revenue is 406,500, because this 20,325 is your VAT liability. This will be adjusted with VAT input and the net amount you have to pay. So if we want to understand the core concept over here, actually your revenue is credited with 406,500, and your VAT output is credited with 20 to 35. Why? Because this is your liability. This is your revenue. Increase in revenue is credited. Increase in VAT liability is credited. And what amount, total amount that you are going to receive against this revenue and against this liability, what total amount you are going to receive? This 426,825. So account receivable would be debit with 426,825. So revenue credit, VAT output credit, and account receivable debit with this amount. So then we will click save. Now let's see the effects on financial statements. For that, we will just go to the reports. In the reports, if we go on the profit and loss account, you can see that our item sale has been recorded with 406,500. That is correctly recorded. Similarly, the relevant cost of goods sold for those items is also charged to cost of goods sold. So this is the cost of the items that we have sold. Okay. If we see in the balance sheet, alright, now if we go in the balance sheet, you can see that in the balance sheet we have account receivable of 426,825, and this is the amount of our items plus VAT. So this is the total amount that we are going to receive from this customer, 426,825. Okay, and if you just go down and you see that our inventory value has been reduced to 151 because we have sold the items. If you still go down and see that we previously had more negative amount in our VAT control account, but now it has been reduced because our VAT liability has increased. So that VAT liability has been adjusted, and now we are available with only 2,800. If you just click over here, you can see that initially our negative balance in the VAT control account was 24,000, and now it is only 2,800. So this has been adjusted. So this is how we record the invoice for a customer. Let's create an invoice for our project. For creating invoice for your projects, you will just click on sales, and from here click on invoices, and then click on create invoice. Once you will click on create invoice, from here you can select your relevant projects. Once you will select your relevant projects, the estimate will pop up. From here just click on add. Either you can create invoice for the full amount or specific percentage, or you can custom each line. So I am gonna select, at this moment we are invoicing only 50%, so I just select 50% over here and then copy to invoice. Now if you go down, you can see that the amount has been written over here, and you will just click save and close. Once you will click on save, you can see that the invoice for that project has been done. Alright, now let's see how we are gonna receive payment from our customers. For that, we will click on new, then click on receive payment, and from here you will select the customer. So here we have this customer number 123. Once we will select it, if you scroll down, you will see the amount that is supposed to be received from that customer. So this is 426. Suppose the customer has paid only 420,000, and then you will write other relevant details over here in the memo or reference number, payment method, and from here you will choose the channel on which it has been paid. Either it was paid in cash, so you will select cash in hand, and either it is paid into your bank, to which bank account you will select from here. After that, we will click on save and close. Similarly, we will receive amount from our project invoices. Just click on receive payment, and from here you will select your relevant project. So 75,000 is supposed to receive. We receive 75,000 on 19th of April. Just click save and close. Now let's see how we record sales return. So for sale return, you will just click on new, and from here you will click on credit note. Once you will click on credit note, suppose customer 123 has returned you this product number 1, 5 items. In the memo you will write all the information regarding that sale return, and this is your credit note number, and then you will just click save and close. Alright, now let's see the effects. If you go to the reports and the profit and loss account, change the date on 21st of April. Let's see on 18th of April what is the status. On 18th of April our item sale is 406,500, right? Now if on 21st of April when the return has been done, our sale has been reduced with the sales return amount, right? If you go in the detail, you can see that in our sales, this was a sales, and this is your sales return. So sales return has been adjusted into your sales or revenue, right? Similarly, now let's go and see an account receivable. What's the detail over there? We were supposed to receive from that customer 426,825. We received 420,000. Then this is reduced from this balance, and then the customer has returned 5 items. If you remember, we have just entered, so this amount has already been adjusted. Now the net receivable is 28,775. Okay, let's go and see the status of the inventory, how it has affected the inventory. Just go to the reports. Here just type inventory valuation detail, and then inventory valuation detail, don't forget to change the dates to see the relevant effects. And then inventory valuation detail, you can see that, if you remember, you can see that we initially purchased 100, 150, then make sale 150, so it is showing negative. We have returned to the supplier 10. Okay, this is also reduced, and then we have adjusted 5 items. If you remember, the story goes on, and now the customer has returned us, so all the quantity in hand is adjusted accordingly. Alright, now let's see how we are gonna make statement of account for customer. For that, you will just click here over new, and then you will just click on here statement. Once you will click on the statements, here you can also put the email address and you can send it, or if it's not working over here, what you can do is that you will just click print preview, and then here you will click on print, and from here you can just save it in PDF, and then you can send it to the customers. The method that you can use to create a statement of account can be, if you just click on the reports, and in the reports you scroll down and click on customer balance detail, and from here you will select your relevant customer. After selecting the relevant customer, you can just customize, click on customize, click on header and footer. Here you will write your own company name. Here you can write statement of account for the period, and then you will just click on run reports, and then you can see that this can also serve you as your statement of account. The next on the list is petty cash advances and adjustment against their invoices. So how we are going to deal with that? For that, first of all, you have to go to this gear button. In the chart of account, you have to create an account as petty cash advances. Okay, the type of that account would be cash and cash equivalent, and in the type detail you will select the bank. Why bank? Because once we will select this type as bank, we will have more options to adjust the bills that we are going to receive from that employee. because in that way we can also use the write check option and we can adjust the items if some inventory item has been purchased by that employee. So it will increase our options to adjust the invoices. Okay, we'll see it in the example right now. So then again you will write this name petty cash advances and here you will write the number, account code or number, and then you will click on save and close. This is the first step. Next step is you are gonna add that employee in your employee list. Once you have added that employee, just by click over here and write the name of that employee, and after filling the data you will just click save. Now the next step is the advanced for the expenses. So how we are going to transfer, just click new and from here you will click on journal entry, and from here we will select petty cash advances, debit. Suppose we are lending 10,000, debit, and from here you will select your bank or cash in hand 10,000, write the description, and from here you will choose that particular employee. And then you will click on save. Now the amount has been transferred to that particular employee. Now if you want to see the particular detail of that advance, you reports, in the reports click on balance sheet. In the balance sheet arrange your date and then click on run report. You can see over here there is petty cash advance of 10,000. okay, just double click over here and from here you will select the employee. Once you will select the employee, you will get the detail employee wise. You can see over here you have got the, now we have got the detail employee wise. Ali 1 has the petty cash of 10,000. Now once we got the bills from that employee, how we are going to adjust that, let's see. You will just click on new and from here you will just make journal entry, and from here you will debit that particular account. Suppose you will debit office expenses, debit supplies, debit or repair and maintenance with the amount 500, 1500, 2500, and from here you will credit the petty cash advances to the employees, and from here you will choose the name of the employee. In this way the advance amount of a particular employee will be reduced with the amount of the bills that you have received, and it will be charged to those particular expenses in the chart of account. You will click save and close. Now if we go to the reports, the profit and loss account, you can see that these particular expenses are charged to the profit and loss account, so this is correct. And similarly, if you want to see the particular detail of that employee, what you are going to do is that you will click on reports, click on balance sheet, then click, after adjusting the date, click on run report, and then if you see over here you will just click over here and from here make it employee wise. You will do this only once and you can just save this customized report, so the next time you will just click on that report. So from here you can see that initially we have lent him 10,000 and 4,500 has been adjusted and we have now 5,500. So this was the adjustment of the petty cash expenses if they were directly related to the particular account head. But what if those bills relates to the inventory items? How you are gonna adjust that? For that, what you will do that you will just click on new and then this time you will click on check. That is why we choose the type as bank, so that we can adjust by using the right check option. In this way we can use this item option as well. So this was the reason behind that. From here you will choose what? You will choose petty cash advances. Okay, and from here you will choose, in the pay section you will choose the employee one. Okay, now if you scroll down, suppose the item, he has purchased some items, 5 item, 1 item and 1 item. So then you will adjust the including taxes, after filling the relevant data you will just click save and close. Now if you want to see the reports, you will just go to the reports. You will see the in the balance sheet, you will just click over here. After adjustment of the date, click on run. In the balance sheet you can see that now this employee has, now we have only balance of 1615. Just click over here and you can see that initially we have advance of 10,000 to that particular employee, 4,005 was adjusted, then 3,885 is adjusted, and this 3,885 includes the inventory purchase, and that particular inventory has also been updated accordingly. So after doing this, from here you will just choose the employee, save this report. Whenever next time you will need this report, you will just go to this report directly. Once you have saved it, what will happen? You will just go to the reports, and in the custom report you can just check that report accordingly. So you will see all the employee wise reports with their petty cash adjustments. Alright, so next on the list is user management. You can add 1 or more users in your QuickBooks Online and limit their access as well. So how you are going to do that? Just click on this gear button, and from here you will click on managing users, and from here you can add user, and you can also limit their access as well. If you want let them to see only reports, you can just click on reports, and then you can give their relevant detail, and you will go on and on. If you want to make it a standard user, you will just click over here, then click on next, and from here you will choose the limited and customers, suppliers or customers, so you can limit their access as well. Now we will go towards the reports management in QuickBooks Online. So as far as report management in the QuickBooks Online is concerned, you will click over here on the reports. Once you will click on the reports, you will have different kind of reports. If you click on the standard, you will see all different kind of report. Apart from that, if you want to search a particular report, you will search over here like inventory valuation detail. So in this way you will get that particular report. So that's it. I hope you like this video. Please click the subscribe button for me if you haven't subscribed yet. Share it with your friends and give me some motivating comments so I can release more videos of these kinds. Thank you very much. Take care. Stay blessed.